What if I told you that every fight you've ever had, every punch, every bruise, was leading up to a moment that could change your life forever? What if I told you that the next time you step into the ring, it could be your last? Because sometimes, the real fight is for your soul. Maximus Max Ryker had been through it all. A former underground champion, his fists had written stories of their own. Stories of blood, sweat, and victories that left him with scars not just on his body, but in his soul. He walked away from the fight scene, thinking he could leave that world behind. But in this life, you can never escape your past. Not for long. It all started with a phone call, one he never expected. Max's brother, Alex, his flesh and blood, the one person he swore to protect, had been taken. The message was clear: fight or never see him again. That's when the past came rushing back. The neon-lit underground arenas, the roar of the crowd, the feeling of his fists cutting through the air like thunder. Max was drawn back into the chaos, but this time, the stakes were higher. It wasn't just about the title, it wasn't about glory. This was personal. As Max made his way back into the fight circuit, something had changed. The tournaments he once dominated were now controlled by a shadowy organization, and the fighters were more brutal than ever. But there was one person Max didn't expect to see: Luna Vance. A rising star in the underground world, known for her quick wit, calculated moves, and relentless drive. She wasn't just a fighter, she was a force of nature, and she had her own reasons for being here. "You don't belong in this world anymore, Max," Luna said, her eyes locking with his as the first round began. But Max wasn't listening. His mind was elsewhere. On Alex, on the shadows that threatened to consume everything he cared about. Round after round, Max fought his way through, each battle more grueling than the last. Each punch, each kick seemed to chip away at him, but his resolve never wavered. The pain, the sweat, it was nothing compared to the fear of losing his brother forever. But as the final tournament loomed closer, Max began to uncover the truth about who was really behind Alex's kidnapping. The deeper he dug, the darker the world of underground fighting became. This wasn't just a fight for survival. This was a fight against a corrupt system, a fight against the very people who had orchestrated his downfall. And now, his brother's life hung in the balance. The final match wasn't just another battle. It was the fight of Max's life. The crowd roared. The lights flashed. The air was thick with tension. Max's fists felt heavier, his body worn down by every fight, every setback. But the one thing that burned brighter than his exhaustion was his need to win. For Alex. For redemption. This is it, Max thought. The last fight. The fight that defines everything. And when the bell rang, there was no going back. Max's journey was never about the belt or the fame. It was about fighting for those who couldn't fight for themselves. And in that ring, he wasn't just fighting to save his brother. He was fighting to reclaim his destiny. Because in the world of fists of destiny, nothing is ever truly over until the last punch is thrown.